Hello, everybody, and welcome to my podcast. This is my daughter, Krystal, her husband, Arnold, and today's special guest is Raul, who's going to be sharing his experiences. Per popular request, people have asked for me to share the story that happened in Las Vegas when my sister was living in a really beautiful home, which I will be more than happy to share with you. But before we do that, I do want to start with a prayer so that we are always protected against any and all evil and all negativity, okay? So let's do that. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Friend, Beloved God, Jesus Christ, Bhagavan Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Mahavtar Babaji, Swami Shri Yukteswar Giri, and my Guru Preceptor, Paramahansa Yogananda, Saints of all religions, I humbly call upon thee all, and I humbly bow to you all. Thank you, Lord God Almighty Most High, for protecting my entire family, my parents, all of us, co-workers, people that live near us, and anyone that sees us, just everyone in general, Lord. Thank you for blessing us all and protecting us against all forms of evil, all forms of negativity. Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
All right. Can I introduce where we are, or you want to do it?
No, please go ahead.
So today we're recording from Lake Arrowhead, and as you can see, the background, it's not CGI, it's not fake. So pardon all the background noise. You can hear planes, maybe a distant car in the background, rarely, but
As long as we don't hear any bears, we're
welcome.
good.
I think we'll be fine. We'll hear some coyotes, maybe. That's about it.
Great.
All right. So
Okay,
Ana?
so let's go ahead and get started. So this happened about a good maybe 7 years ago. My sister, my elder sister, was living in an incredibly beautiful home in Las Vegas, a 2-story home, large with a swimming pool, jacuzzi, the whole kit and caboodle. So the first time that she asked me to come over, I went over with a friend of mine, and the minute we opened the door, entered into the foyer, I immediately felt like 1,000 eyeballs staring back. And I thought, oh no, as beautiful as this home is, there's something here. And I wasn't comfortable in really like tuning in inwardly to see what that was. So I tried to ignore it as much as I could. It was so bad that I didn't stay for not even more than an hour. It was less than that. So my friend and I, she and I went back home. And when I got home, I called my sister and I said, hey, out of curiosity, this is what I felt, and she said, oh my gosh, she goes, yeah, she goes, we have been having some strange things happen here. We've been hearing voices, and I thought, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pray, and I'm going to meditate tonight, and since I'm at home now, I'm going to see what's going on. And she says, okay. So at nighttime, I did my regular routine. I sat down, I said a hardcore prayer to God, and I shut out the world, and I started to meditate. All of a sudden, I saw something that was imitating what my sister looks like, but it wasn't her. It came from the living room.
In the meditation?
During meditation, yeah, I was in my safety zone. I was at home. I had already prayed, and I told God,
Had you walked the house? She showed you your house when you went over the first time?
Not really.
Like a little tour?
Not really. No, not really. I told you I did not want to stay there that long. I only went from the foyer to downstairs, the living room, and the kitchen area. Yeah, I didn't go upstairs. So I sat down, and I see this thing that was trying to make itself look like it was my sister, like it was a human. And as it was coming towards me, it was kind of doing this, like with its body, like wobbling.
Okay.
As it's coming towards me, and when it got closer, it like did something like this, like it showed the teeth, and the teeth were all jagged, like jaws.
Okay.
And so immediately, because I was comfortable in where I was at, I immediately started praying and calling God and calling Christ and the Virgin Mary and all the saints you can think of. And then I imagined in my mind grabbing that thing and putting it like in a huge slingshot, and I shot it out where it literally went straight into the living room. It broke through the glass and went directly up into the sky. Now, this is in meditation, so it's not really happening in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, okay, I think that's going to be the end of it. It's going to be gone and my sister will be okay. Well, it wasn't. Unfortunately, I don't know if because of that, it made things worse, but things got really, really bad in her home. So the next time that I went to go visit, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm okay now. I did spend the night. I got there I got there on Saturday morning and came back on Sunday. But that Saturday night.
Wait, were you by yourself or did you take someone with you?
No, this time I was by myself. It was just me. I went to go visit her. I figured I'd stay there, overnight. I slept in the one room that was her middle child. And that night had been really windy. There was a lot of wind, and I don't know what was up with the window. I don't know if I don't know what was wrong with it, but the wind was making it go the whole night, which was really eerie. You could hear it howling. You could hear the wind howling. You could see the window doing this.
So it just made matters worse.
It did, and so I thought, okay, I'm gonna
It's
try
just
to
the wind
ignore.
anyways. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some sleep.
I'm trying to psych myself out. I'm gonna, it's not gonna bother me. The minute that I almost fell asleep, I felt somebody staring at me from the doorway. So I'm the type of person that I will face my fears, even if it really, really scares me. But, I have to psych myself out first, keep saying, God is with me, God is love, God is with me, God is protection. I turned around to look, and I clearly saw a figure. This is that same figure that I had seen for years at my parents' home. And it's the one that we call the Shadow Man. I saw him there, and I thought, no, that's not going to happen to me. Not again. So I turned over on my left side, and I went to fall asleep, trying to ignore it. And I think I fell asleep. I'm not sure if I fell asleep or if I had a vision, because it was so interlinked that I couldn't tell whether I was sleeping or awake. But I saw on the ceiling of the bedroom, a big hole started to open like a vortex. And then all of a sudden, I see this, which is really odd, this little bird, a white bird wearing a blue dress. It came out and it flew. And then the next thing that I saw were a pair of a child's feet. A child maybe around 7, 8 years old.
Just the feet?
Just the feet. And it was from the knees down, and the feet were so dirty. And I was like, oh, this is not good.
From the vortex?
From the vortex. I'm like, okay, this is not good. And I'm like, I don't care. God is with me. God is love. God is with me. God is protection. This is not happening today. That's how I was adamant. No. So the next thing I know, I start to feel a burning sensation on the left side of my neck. Now, what I forgot to mention prior was I have this beautiful emblem. I call it the AUM sign. It's the number 3 with the sun and the moon. What was happening was, as I was coming out of that vision/dream, I realized that something was pulling on it, and it was literally like cutting me right in here. And so without being afraid, I just simply, and without really trying to move too much, I got my finger and I went in between it, and I did this to loosen it up from here.
No.
So for some of the listeners, you pulled it. You put
I
your
pulled
finger
the chain.
close to your neck, and then you pulled the tight part.
Yes, I
off.
pulled it so it would not be tight, and then I turned around and I tried to fall asleep on my right-hand side. And as I'm falling asleep, The howling of the wind is going on. The window is rattling, but the shadow had already disappeared. And so at that point, I thought, okay, half of the battle is already won. So I just started singing songs of praise within my head and sing over and over and over again. And I fell asleep. In the morning when I woke up, I went to my sister and I told her what happened. And she told me, she says, you're not going to believe this, but last night in my room, I kept hearing something going. And she said, and I was looking around like, what is that noise? What is that noise? And then she realized that what she saw was her Kleenex box had the Kleenex sticking out. She said that she could see it moving, like somebody was like trying to jiggle it out, you know. And she goes, it freaked me out so bad that I had to turn around and fall asleep. And I said, okay, you know what? Obviously, there's something here.
Yeah, and then clarify that you guys went through, like, you tried telling her maybe it was the AC, but the AC was nowhere near there.
No,
so.
and plus, and the AC is not going to be, you know,
trying to yank it up.
Trying to yank it up, yeah. So I told her we're going to have to do a blessing on this home if you're brave enough to do it. And she said, yes, I'm going to do it, because she said that during the week, which if she had told me this beforehand, I don't think I would have spent the night there. During the week, she left her laptop on top of the dresser, and it was recording. And her husband at the time was working as a truck driver, so he had to go to sleep early. So she said that only he was in the bedroom asleep, and she didn't realize that her laptop was recording. Her and the kids were downstairs. So when she came upstairs, put the kids to bed, after like about a half hour later, came upstairs and I was like, oh, it's recording. So she turned it off. So the next day she got curious, I wonder what it recorded. And she let me hear it, and I wish I would have never heard it. You can hear a woman's voice coming out of the recording, and it's talking to her husband. But her husband, you can hear the snores. He's snoring away. You can hear the kids in the background downstairs, and you can hear this woman's voice. I'm not even going to tell you what she said, because what was coming out of there.
The suspense.
Well, yeah, you can't leave us in the hang.
No, I know for our
wanna hear
safety and for the safety of the listeners, I will not repeat what she was saying.
It's too negative, like negative energy that doesn't need to be repeated.
It's not only negative; it was evil. It was plain flat. Oh no, my body's starting to shake. So when that happens, it's like, no.
Okay, let's move on, because you're freaking me out.
Yeah, so I'm not going to say that.
So she was saying some really scary stuff.
Yeah, it
Not
was.
scary, it was just evil and dark.
It was more than evil and dark. It's something that I never ever want to experience again in my life.
Primeval.
Oh.
Okay, let's forward.
Describe it.
Okay, so I told her we have to do a blessing. So at this point, I started to tell my other sister. And she didn't believe me. And I said, if you don't believe me, then come with me. Come with me next weekend. I'm sorry, hold on. I got to stop shaking. Because just remembering what happened, that it really gives me the chills.
So you went home after that?
Yeah, I came home. And then the week after, my other sister came with me. So now it's the three sisters and our kids. We get to
you, Krystal?
No, Krystal wasn't there. It was Tiffany, my other daughter, and my other sister and her two daughters. So we got there kind of late on a Saturday night, the following Saturday. And when you first walk in to her home, there's these beautiful doors, and then you walk in, there's a little foyer, and then to the right, there's a fancy little living room, and then right next to that, there's like a little. It was like a little study, like an office.
Like a dining area.
No. It was like literally an office, but the office and that living room space was separated by a very short, about this high, border.
Little pony wall.
So you could see over there. So my sister had her desk there, and that's where she was working from. And as my sister and I that had just gotten there, we're blowing up our mattress and we're going to sleep in that little living room area. All of a sudden we hear bam really loud coming from that.
As you were
that
trying to
area.
get to sleep, or were you guys in bed?
No,
already?
we were blowing up the mattress. We were
Okay.
barely getting we're barely getting situated. And I looked up. I'm like, what was that? And my other two sisters were looking around and said, I'm not gonna go look.
So who's gonna draw the
So-
short straw to go check?
So my other sister that doesn't live there, she goes, I'm gonna go look. Nothing's gonna scare me away from here. She goes over there, and we realized what had happened was my sister that lived in that home has this. Do you remember those old typing stands that are metal? They're about this big, had a little clip.
Yeah, the
You
little
put your
typewriters.
paper- No. It's a typing stand. Literally, it's a square. It was about this big, and it has like a little A, so you could prop it up like this.
Oh, your
and it's got the
papers
little
and stuff?
foot.
And
Yeah.
they're heavy. They're
It's very heavy. It's very heavy. So that was sitting on my sister's desk, and somebody had grabbed it and slammed it against the adjacent wall.
there was nobody around there.
There was nobody there but the three of us. The kids were all in the living room / kitchen area, way over there. So it caught me off guard. It really frightened me. And my middle sister, she said, no. When she picked it up, she grabbed it, and she slammed it on the desk, and she said, pardon me for saying this. She said, go ahead, fucker. Do it again. And I was like, no,
Don't do it.
don't say
I would
that.
have been like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, no. Oh my God,
Hey, you
don't
have to
do
do
that.
it
Don't
again. You guys
do
are
that.
on your
You do
own.
not want to egg whatever that is on. And
Bet
she's
you
like,
won't do
no
it again.
one's going to scare me from here. I'm like, okay, you know what? I mean, here, I'm the one that prays every night. I should not have been that frightened. But even to this day, I still shake over that first incident. Here comes nighttime. All the kids, except for my sister's middle daughter, slept upstairs with my sister. So my one sister and I slept downstairs. So we have the kids in front of us in the living room area, and my eldest sister and her daughter slept upstairs. So as we're starting to fall asleep, I keep hearing somebody pacing in the kitchen. So I'm like, I told my sister, hey, do you hear somebody pacing? She goes, yeah, it's one of the kids. So I get up, I go to the kitchen.
Ready to
There's
yell
no
at
one
somebody.
there. And then all of a sudden, I'm sorry, hold on, I'm getting a cramp in my back because that really scared me. I'm still shaking. All of a sudden, my niece goes, Deanna, is that you? And I'm like, yeah. And then all the other girls started, go, you're awake. None of them were asleep. They were all listening to this pacing going on back and forth. And I remember the fan in the kitchen was on. And I said, okay, I said, don't be afraid. We're going to pray. And the minute I started saying that fan started going fast, so fast that it started wobbling. And I thought, oh my God, I didn't know how to turn it off. It's not the one that has the strings. It has the, on the wall, it has like the.
Like a dimmer.
Yeah, nobody was
Yeah,
touching
it looks like a
either.
dimmer. Yeah, no. The kids
they're
wouldn't
bad.
even move from they were sleeping on the living room. And I was like, okay, I can't turn this thing off. It won't turn off. I'm like, it has to be broken. It's faulty. That's what's going through my mind. I said, I said, girls, God is with us. God is love. God is with us. God is protection. And we kept repeating that over and over and over again until we finally just went back to sleep. Here we are again, starting to fall asleep, when all of a sudden my sister and I hear someone coming downstairs.
No.
This is just to add it on top.
By this, yes, at this point, I was spooning with my sister, okay?
Big spoon or little spoon?
I'm like,
This is you guys were thinking, oh, this is the cherry on top.
yeah, I was like, oh my God, now what? So my sister turns around. She clearly has more guts than I do. And what I saw really freaked me out. It's my daughter, my sister that lives there, her middle child, who was about 9 years old at the time. She's sleepwalking. She had long hair. Her hair was all flipped forward. Her head was down, and she was wearing her dad's white long T-shirt. So because he's a big guy, it was long on her. And she's not missing a step. And I'm like, you know. And my sister's like, oh my God, she's just sleepwalking. She's just sleepwalking. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Dude,
okay.
imagine seeing the ring, but in real life.
Oh my God.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it looked like. So my sister gets off the bed and I'm shaking again. And she went and softly talked to her, and I was like, don't wake her up, don't wake her up. 'Cause, well, yeah, I don't.
I've heard that's bad, waking people up when they're sleepwalking.
Yeah, so did I. So anyway, so my sister guides her and she's trying to wake her up. She's like, honey, wake up. I'm like, don't wake her up. So she goes in, of course she lays her on the sofa that's on my side. So I'm like,
No, thanks.
no, honestly, at this point, I know it's kind of funny, but if you picture it, I was really frightened to the point where I couldn't even get up and go to the bathroom by myself. And actually, neither could my sister that was spooning with me at that point. I'm like, oh, okay,
that was the cherry on top.
now you're scared?
Oh my God.
Oh, no, that was not the cherry on top.
It gets better.
It gets worse. Here
Worse,
comes
I
the
guess.
next day. The next day, which is now Sunday, my sister couldn't get a priest to come out and bless the home after she told him what was going on. Yeah. Even my cousin, who lived in Las Vegas and is a minister, would not come out.
Why?
Because of what we heard on the recording. Because they knew that was the real deal. And they were honestly
hell no.
scared shitless. Nobody wanted to go. And I could not, in good
Don't
conscience...
stop touching me.
I could not, in good conscience, just leave knowing what I knew. Like, we can't. So I had already been prepared. I had my own emblem.
Sorry, we're getting attacked by bugs back here.
I was wearing my emblem, which is blessed, by the way, and I found another one. I can't remember somebody. Oh, my friend.
It's like
gave
it was
to
a
me.
wooden one, right?
It was, yeah. I found a beautiful wooden one with the beautiful wood, like the prayer beads around it.
Okay.
That I forgot to tell you. I gave that to my sister because it too is blessed. And that night when we first got there, I'm sorry, I'm going to back up just a little bit. That night when we first got there, I gave my sister that emblem, and she hung it in the kitchen where the kids wouldn't be able to touch it. So she hung it in the kitchen by the sink, where your keys go way up there. And on Sunday morning when we woke up, it was faced backwards. Like somebody got it, like it bothered, that emblem bothered them. Mm. So I said, okay, we were going to leave that Sunday. I'm like, we can't leave without doing something. Christ said, where two or more are gathered in my name, there too I will be. And I hung on to that with all my heart and soul.
So you stayed.
We did. We started, right. And since my sister couldn't get a priest or anyone to come out and help, she found one online. She found, it wasn't even live. It was like a recorded
verse.
What's that light?
Why do you do that to me?
I'm serious. What's that light?
The white one?
Yeah.
Looks like a flashlight.
The kids are downstairs. Okay. Whoo. Okay. Never mind. Don't even pay attention to it.
The light's gone now.
The light's gone. Why do you do that?
I think it's a flashlight.
Probably a flashlight.
I think Ralph is out there.
Yeah. Sorry, people. Maybe
right.
false alarm?
We're psyching ourselves out. We're out here. It's kind of scary out here.
Man.
Okay. All right.
Krystal's a sissy.
All right. So let's go on.
Why am I a part of this again?
But so they found the recording. It wasn't
she
a priest,
found
it was a recording.
It was a pre-recorded
that's what
priest of when what is it? It's not an exorcism. Where they bless homes and expel demons and whatnot. So I told her before we started with the prayer similar to the one that I do right now. And I had, somebody had given me, what is that incense called? The sage. So I burnt sage, and we opened every door, every window in that home. And with the sage, we blessed every corner of the house, everything. And then we were able to leave home, leave her there. Then I was like, okay, we can leave her now. Well, you would think it would end there, but it didn't. The following, because I kept in contact with her during the week, everything okay? And then she said no. She's like, the night before, after you guys left, she says, I heard somebody in the bedroom. And I couldn't turn around because I was too frightened. And I felt something icy cold go right through my back and out.
Like she felt something
front.
like temperature
She felt
cold.
something icy cold go right through her. Well, weeks later, she found out that she got breast cancer. That's how she got that. So she ended up at the end, they moved out. They packed their bags of that incredibly gorgeous home
And
and
they said, forget it.
Yeah.
Not worth it. Especially if her health's
Yeah.
going to get involved into it.
They moved out. She had a slew of bad luck during that time.
Yeah, she did.
As she was in that home. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Just one thing after another, after another, after another. But the icing on the cake was that cancer. But I was very, very grateful to God that by the time she was being treated for it, which she's fine now, thank God.
Remission?
Oh yeah, more than that. I mean, this happened like about 7 years ago. It's been a long time.
Less, no?
I don't remember it. I'm really bad
Anyways,
with time. But so
she's fine now.
yeah, she's
Okay,
fine
that's
now,
good.
and she recuperated in a new home that she's in now. And now the home that she has it's a beautiful home, and there's a lot of light in that home. There's the change is so huge,
Clean, free of evil.
right? And there's that light again, by the way.
No, I don't see anything.
I'm looking at it. It's going.
It's in the corner.
It's huge.
on the
Now,
bottom.
see, look, it's
Oh,
going.
Oh,
corner.
wait a minute. No,
It's a flashlight.
no, it's Ralphie on his phone.
On the TV.
Oh my
We're
God! I'm
psyching
gonna.
you.
Mom.
Oh, it is the TV.
That's
yeah.
We're
perfect
looking
podcast.
around.
Yep.
Well, you can't tell me that doesn't weird. It's all dark.
It
in
wasn't
here.
until right now that I can see.
Okay, now I'm not wearing my glasses, so I can't see from
Okay.
here to the
From
end
our
of the
point of
table.
view, there's windows and the inside of the cabin is dark, and all you see is a reflection of like a blob on the TV. You can't even tell it's a TV. It's so dark in there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that really kind
I
of.
totally forgot there was a TV over there. To be honest, how
sucked
dark
into
it
the
is.
story.
That story is scary.
Do you guys want to continue? I have one that's a little.
It's Arnold's moving
It's
his
me.
foot. Stop.
Cut it out, you guys. Quit it. 'Cause I just stopped shaking. I don't want to start again.
We're gonna have to start recording this like in a white room, a whole bunch of lights.
No, you know
and-
what? Just so that our audience knows, all of October we're going to talk about this type, scary stuff that happened. November we're going to move into the extraterrestrial phase, which I have a lot of experience with them too, and then December we're going to go with all of the angelic because I do have a lot of
Christmas time.
So basically,
I have a
I'll
lot
come back in
of
December.
She's
yeah
getting
in
it.
December. Yes, you guys will love these stories
Are you
too.
getting presents for all the listeners? Like PlayStations, Apple iPods.
Is that what you
Oh, there's
want?
no more iPods. Sorry, iPhones. iPod.
But you know what? This story
Okay.
does remind me of when we moved in. Well, when I was a kid, when we were younger, we moved into our first home. So Arnold, you know our chimney. It's smack dead in the center of the house. And
Oh yeah, they blessed the house.
yeah. So
Ooh, that's a
so
good story.
so when we first moved in, my dad's like, hey, you know what? We're gonna fix the house. So basically, all our stuff went in the garage and everything else. The only thing we took inside the house was like our mattresses because my dad was fixing the entire house. So like the first week, my dad goes, oh, you know what? I'm gonna get the house blessed. Okay, so we're gonna get the house blessed. They come over to bless it, and on our chimney, my mother had candles and some crosses, and instead of a regular wooden mantle, it's
Stone.
it's stone. Yeah, it's stone. But then on top of the stone is bricks. So just think of your standard bricks, and that's the mantle goes all the way around. So the crosses were all the way up as far back as you could push them. So that's a lot of space between the back and the front end of the brick.
About a foot.
Yeah.
12 inches.
Yeah, or so.
Okay. Well, it's a
Yeah.
lot of space.
Yeah. All right. So as they were blessing, in the middle of the blessing, right, one of the crosses came flying off the chimney.
Whoa.
Now, if think of it like where the microphone is, and this is the edge. It literally jumped off one of the crosses and broke.
Oh my
Right,
God.
all of us were freaked out. We're like, "What?" And my dad was just like, "Well, was it close to the edge or something?" And my mom was like, "No, nothing's close to the edge. Everything's pushed back up as far back as it could go, up against the chimney."
You should
So-
clarify that day. So your dad, he's Raleigh's related to me. He's my cousin. Through his dad is my mom's brother. But anyways, she was there that day with our other aunt that she
Yeah.
constantly prays, and she's constantly in church, and she's even been part of like exorcisms and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe we can give a call and
Yeah.
and real stuff, like not exorcism like exaggerated, but like just sick people and they exercise them
No, she
and
has
they
some
feel
crazy
better,
stories.
and then
Yeah.
but they were there that day. I remember when
Yeah.
they came back and they told us. I don't know if you're gonna say it, but I'll let you see it.
No, go ahead, because that's all I remember. I mean,
Well.
I was freaked out. I was just like, how did it jump off?
Well, that man on the mantle, on the corner, on the left side or the right side, they said they had a fan going. That was my mom and my aunt. Like, yeah, we started praying, and then after the cross fell and everything, and they kept praying, and then the fan was sitting there, and that fell over too.
Oh my gosh.
Like it fell and broke. It was a fan blowing just because it's hot in there.
Yeah, it was summertime.
And they said that broke, and that's what got them. They all prayed louder, and they praised God more, and eventually
Yeah.
just it stopped, and till they felt themselves like you have a feeling that everything's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, ever since, I mean, that was the only time I've ever felt anything weird in that house. I mean, everything else felt fine after that.
Do you remember speaking of the crucifix, do you remember what happened
At Grandpa's?
with that one caregiver?
Oh, the
Are you
caregiver.
okay if
Yes,
I
tell
talk
us
about
that
that?
story.
Yeah.
Just don't say her name or
No, I won't. So we needed to find somebody to care for my father, and we had a gal come in and interview. She was pretty scary looking, but we were trying our best
not to be rude, but she was.
I know she was.
But she seemed very qualified, and she had everything. So
Yeah,
That's
she
the
did.
thing. She
So-
was super qualified.
like Ed Munster scary looking?
No, like can we even say it?
I don't.
no, just
I don't know.
No,
Kinda like-
she was just very scary
To
looking.
give off a vibe.
yeah. I mean, the hair was kind of like straight and
the
like
hair, the
thick and dry.
makeup.
The teeth. were
Anyway,
all rotted
I didn't
and-
choose
Okay.
her based on
She
her looks.
wasn't-
I chose her based on
she
her
wasn't-
qualifications.
she wasn't
Correct.
ugly. She just had a scary appearance to her.
She had
so
a very
so we don't
scary-
confuse the
Okay.
Yeah.
the listeners.
But she
you know?
definitely give off a
weird vibe.
Well,
Weird
just a
vibe.
weird vibe,
Weird
but
vibe.
not we didn't want to.
I wasn't being judgy.
Yeah, we didn't want to be judgy. We didn't be judgmental.
like we are
But
now.
she was highly
Yeah,
qualified.
exactly.
especially me.
Yeah,
The
no,
whole-
she was highly qualified.
The whole
Anyways.
thing was
Right.
choosing someone that was going to take care of Grandpa,
Exactly.
and that was my mindset.
right.
Uh-huh.
And
lot of
my dad
experience
is
on her?
never
Yeah.
alone.
Okay.
Yeah,
Super
you hired
experience.
her.
Everything she said was perfect to a T. So yeah, we hired her.
we did. And within that same week, a lot of strange things started to happen, including which was second to the icing on the cake. My dad all of a sudden lost energy. He became immobile. He stopped talking. He stopped walking
in
within
a
that
week
week.
span.
With that-
Yeah.
Well,
He
that
lost
was,
a lot of weight.
Yeah.
well, that was after.
With
Well, to clarify, they know if they heard the last episode, or if not, for any new listeners, do you have cameras throughout the house to
Right.
look at him, and that's how
Yes.
you were keeping an eye on him.
right.
The first night you were over at our house or our parents' house,
It was at your house
and we were at my house,
Mhm.
correct?
when my dad just
And he fell off the couch, like slipped off the couch, and she couldn't get him up, and
Yeah.
that's when
you
my
know what?
two
That's when
brothers.
we
I think you
called-
were there.
I was at your mom's house.
Yeah, we were watching.
Yeah, because I remember you guys. I think Krystal called
Yeah.
my aunt to say, hey, can you
no,
send
our
ev-
parents was
It was-
there too.
No.
Yeah.
So I
No, no.
called
'Cause we called
Diego and
Diego
Edward,
and Edward to
and
go
I
down
asked them to go help her get him off because they were the closest ones to Grandpa's house.
And they're only like 2 minutes away.
Yeah, so they got there, and we're watching on the video.
I watched on the video too.
there's
Yeah,
cameras.
as I'm driving over there.
There's
like a drama
cameras all
show.
around.
Yeah.
We're watching, and the boys get there, and they put him back on the chair. And then I think that night, you went over there,
Yeah.
and you just got him into bed because I think it was time for her to leave anyway.
Well, we got him into bed, but he looked lifeless, like the life was just sucked out of him. And so I thought it was really odd. So we ended up calling the doctor to come out and see what's going on. And so they sent, I think it was a physician's assistant, because it was a weekend. So
a palliative nurse.
yeah, they sent a palliative nurse to come, and she told us, "I'm really sorry to tell you this, but you need to get your affairs in order. Your dad's not going to live for more than a month."
No.
What
She
did she
said
say?
2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
You know what? So I remember watching the video of him actually sliding off the chair. You know,
Which was weird.
which was kind of weird.
He just kind of slipped off,
He-
like
He like leaned
you lean
back.
back,
Like he
and then
leaned
he's
back.
like-
Yeah, it was
and like
weird.
almost like he kind
pick
of
up your
like
hips,
this.
and then you just kind
You
of
know, yeah, and just kind of let your hips kick under you.
Yeah.
turn into like a plank and
Yeah.
just
Right.
slip off.
And what I thought was really weird, because I did see her trying to pick him up, but it almost seemed like he didn't want to.
her.
Like,
Yes.
He didn't
like,
trust her.
like he didn't.
Yeah.
Like he definitely gave off
Yeah, that
that.
was weird.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, because if you, I saw the video, and I'm sure you guys did. So if you notice his legs, like they were like almost fighting her, because he was trying to pick her up, so he would maneuver his legs in a weird way, so he couldn't get up, and
Yeah, he
he
was
would
like
drop his hips,
like a noodle. It
Yeah.
was weird.
yeah.
And he had never, I mean, this is a man that was walking, prior to that.
A couple
was
weeks
really
ago, I seen him
weird.
take the fence out. Remember?
Yeah. So anyway, so the nurse tells us, we're really sorry. He, give him more than not even 2 weeks. I thought it was a month for some reason, but so I remember she started crying and she started calling the family. I started crying, and between that girl, myself, and my mom, we took my dad to the bedroom, and I'm trying to like lay him and get him comfortable as she's in the living room crying. And then all of a sudden, my dad yells, "Go, go!" Remember?
Which is my nickname.
This was her
so-
nickname. Yeah. And I was like, "Oh my God." And so I'm telling her, see if we can find the video. And so I'm telling Krystal, I'm yelling, Krystal, Dad's calling you. So
yeah,
then
so I ran
Krystal
over,
comes, right, and it's only you, me, the caregiver.
and Grandma came after
And
me.
my
She was
mom.
with me too. Yeah, she came with me.
So all of it, yeah, but it's just you, me, the caregiver, my mom, just the four of us who were in
Correct.
the bedroom, right? There was nobody else in the house.
So
and
let me.
hold on, because I know what you're getting at, but you're gonna forget this.
Okay.
So my mind is a million miles away, thinking, "Oh my God, I'm gonna lose my dad," and so I'm trying to find the diapers. Where do we keep the diapers? And I'm trying to get everything set so that the caregiver can get her situated. And the whole time she's sitting next on the bed with my dad, and she's just staring at me, Krystal. And it wasn't until I like
Wait. That's what I was gonna say. So, okay, wall, right? And then his bed is against the other wall. So I'm laying with him on the bed, and then the door to the room's right here, right? So we're laying towards you because I think you were sitting on Grandma's bed with Grandma over there,
Right.
and then she was, I don't know where
Try
she
to
was.
try to explain it in like a voice, like a audio version, so the people not watching the video.
Okay, got it. So Grandpa's bed is how do you say this?
it's parallel to the wall.
It's parallel to the wall, but the bed is facing like your feet
It's
is.
perpendicular to the wall.
There you go.
There you go. When
Okay.
you walk in, the bed's on the right hand side, and the beds.
And the other bed is directly in front of it. Okay.
That's correct.
And then to the left is against the other wall is a dresser.
you're sitting
And
in the
on that
bed.
dresser is a very giant cross. Like we have a very big cross,
And it's a
About
blessed
what,
cross. It
2
came
feet,
from
you would
Rome.
say?
Yeah,
It's
2
about
feet.
2 feet
Yeah.
by like 2 feet. It's a very large cross with a big picture, a big Jesus, wooden Jesus, right?
Hence the pun.
But it
It was
hanging, wasn't
blessed
it?
by the Pope. No.
No.
It was on top of the dresser, and it's huge, and it had been there for a couple of years.
It hasn't.
It hasn't moved.
It hasn't moved from that
JP?
spot.
Oh, but we forgot to say prior to that. So that cross, while she was there with us just the 1 week, it kept falling off.
Yeah, that's right.
It
We
kept
kept catching
falling
it
off.
on the video that it kept falling.
It's like
What-
falling off. So
we-
that night when we're putting Grandpa to bed and she's sitting there, she's staring at me, and I'm like, I'm not really paying attention because my mind is, oh my God, I'm losing my dad.
And I'm talking to Grandpa, and then all of a sudden I hear like someone walking down the hallway.
Right.
And I remember looking at you, and I'm like, we
Yeah.
didn't hear the door. We didn't hear
Yeah.
the alarm go off that someone opened the door.
Right.
And I'm looking at you because I'm freaking out because we're
Right.
all in the room.
Right. And I catch her eyes and I'm like,
I'm shaking out because now I'm freaking out.
yeah, because then I looked at her and it was like through mental telepathy, she said, if we're all here, who the hell is pacing up and down in the hallway?
It was coming towards us,
And
like
it
it was
was
walking
loud.
towards us. You clearly heard the footsteps. And I remember thinking, oh, hell no, not again. I haven't been in this house. Because
Right.
we live somewhere else now. But I mean,
Wasn't it carpet flooring there though?
no, there's wood
There was the
flooring.
I
wood-
switched
Yeah.
it over to wood floor.
Oh, okay. See, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
So
So
I'm
then-
looking at her and I'm panicking and I'm like dumbfounded. I'm like, my mom needs to do something because I'm freaking out at this point.
Ready
And
to throw a
then
shoe
what
at the-
happens?
The freaking
Bam.
cross flew off.
And
it
that-
literally
yeah.
flew off. And I just looked at my mom and I was like, oh my God.
But here's the kicker on that. The day after.
No.
Your eyes
When
are
she
getting
picked
watery.
it up, I know I'm
Don't
freaking out.
cry.
Remember, she started giggling.
That's what I was going to
Oh,
tell you.
no.
I didn't see that till the day
Oh, she
after.
giggled when
She
she picked it up?
giggled. She giggled.
Oh, my
and I
God.
remember
And
thinking,
you could
oh
see it on
my
the
God.
camera.
You can see, okay, so
Yeah.
the camera view, because she was facing away from me, but the camera was facing her. Like,
yeah,
the
so
camera's
her
facing
back
her
was
face.
to us, but she was facing the camera. Go ahead. Finish it off.
We heard her giggle, but when we replayed it back, because my aunt didn't believe us,
Yeah.
and my grandma was freaking out too, and
Yeah.
after that day, we had to let her go, because I just,
No,
We got a phone call.
a phone call or
We got a
did
phone
someone
call on
visit you?
Saturday
the
because that
following
happened
day,
during the
it was
yeah,
the
that
following day,
yeah.
she was on a Friday.
That
It
was
was
right.
the following day we got a phone call from a police officer, because I think you wrote her a check.
right.
Like a detective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a detective, yeah.
No, not detective. The
No.
probation officer.
No.
No.
It was just I know because we told you the story so quickly.
Her PO came by.
Someone.
No, we
Not
got. I get a phone call on my cell phone, and it's the deputy from
Okay,
from,
it's-
that
it's-
From the sheriff's department.
Okay, it's
and
the police.
asking me if I know that person, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What the hell is he talking about?" And I because she had only been with us for a week,
It was only a week.
and I was like, "Wait, who?" And he goes, "Oh, she says that she works for you." I'm like, "Oh yeah." So and the officer was calling me because she was cashing a check that I gave her. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, the check is legit, And I'm like, why?
works.
Is something wrong? And he's like, no, I just needed to know. I'm like, okay. And then Krystal came over like 10 minutes later, and I'm telling her this. She's like, well, did you get the officer's phone number? I'm like, well, he called my cell phone, so I have his number. He's calling me from his cell phone. And so I called him back, and I told him, this is, Ana Martin. I talked to you about 10 minutes ago regarding so-and-so. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, she's already, I already let her go. And I said, well, can you please tell me what's going on? Because we just hired her, but we don't know her. We hired her to help us care for my father. And he said, I'm sorry, I can't give you any information.
He couldn't tell us anything.
But you could tell that he wanted to. So I'm trying to figure out different ways to tell him. So I finally said, okay, tell me this. If you had an elderly parent who couldn't talk or walk, would you hire her? He said, no.
Yeah, he
And
likes
you
to
shouldn't
out.
have her in your home either.
Yeah. That's what he said. It
End of
freaked
story.
us out, and I told my mom, make something up, and we got to let her go.
Oh, these stories just keep developing.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of scary stuff that happens, but you have to remember to put this stuff on if you want.
I got
We'll
a
just have to
question for you, Ana.
blur her face out.
So when you heard the footsteps, did it sound like footsteps or did it sound like hoof steps?
No, it was footsteps. You know what it was? It literally sounded like a nervous parent pacing up and down, like, oh my God, what's wrong with him? Oh my God, he's gonna die. Oh my God, that's what it felt like to me, like it was somebody worried that
That was pacing up and down the.
that they were pacing. You could hear the footsteps pacing back and forth, back and forth.
After all that happened, it's crazy how how you
Don't
got the
move.
phone call like the day after.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moth.
That's
just
a
a
moth.
moth.
It's a
okay.
moth. Yeah, it's a nice, pretty one too.
It is. It's pretty yellow. Yeah, we've always been protected. Always, always, always. Thank you, God, always for protecting us. You know.
That was creepy though.
Yeah, you got me with the giggle
She
or
freaking
the,
giggled.
Yeah, you have to
Was
see
it? Was
it.
it like?
She
Wow.
giggled
I
at
still
the
have it
cross
on my cell
falling.
phone
Like
'cause-
that.
Was it like an
Yeah.
Elmo giggle?
No, it was at first she was no.
No,
So
that
she
would've
said
been
she said
creepy.
something like, "Okay," and she turned around. I was like, because you could see her face clearly on the camera. Oh my God, right on the camera.
Do we still have these videos?
I have it on my cell phone. Yeah.
But you can't really share it. 'cause
I don't
I'm
know
not gonna
how to
Well,
share
can
it
you
because
blur
YouTube will
it?
take it down. So we got to figure out how.
I'll try to edit it and maybe you can get the audio out of it.
Yeah, but you gotta blur her face out too. You know.
When you blur her face, I put Elmo's face there for me.
Do you in
No.
the video? Do you see the cross falling?
Yes.
Yes, the cross
Jeez.
flies.
Yes.
You see it fly off.
Yeah.
It's in the video.
Oh, now we owe this one to
Yeah.
our listeners.
Ugh.
Okay,
I'm-
so
now you
yeah.
got
we
me
got
shivering.
another 15 minutes.
Oh, why don't we have you share your experience of what happened when we had that party at my parents' home
Okay,
and
okay.
you spent the night? Yeah. Well, everybody spent the night.
Yeah.
let's make that clear.
So
Mom never
So,
let
I
anybody
don't-
drive home after drinking.
no,
Never.
no, which I was perfectly fine with. What's a nap better than a ticket
DUI.
or worse
or
an
worse,
accident
yeah.
or worse.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I stayed and I slept on the couch, and so your couch was basically like a giant L. It was like a corner couch.
Correct.
So I slept on the side where I lay down. My head was so my head would be towards the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. And I forget who. No, I don't think anybody else was there. I think it
Yeah.
was just me there.
No. It was two of Krystal's friends whose names I won't mention were in one bedroom, and then the two
No,
of
I
you
meant
were
on
in
the couch.
another.
On the
Oh, in the
couch.
couch. I'm
I
sorry.
think it was just me.
Because I had a full house. Yeah,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
living room, it was
Yeah.
just you.
Yeah, which I was perfectly fine letting the girls in the bedrooms, and I was just
Right.
I'll sleep on the couch.
Right.
Which is perfectly fine. So, anyways, and they had told me stories, but I was just like,
Yeah. That's what everybody
believe
does
it.
before
I was
they
just like,
come to the house.
hey. So or whatever. Anyway, so I'm sleeping, and then I remember it was maybe close. It was maybe close to sunrise, or it might have been sunrise already. Anyways, so I'm sleeping, and I'm hearing somebody coming up to my left side of my ear, because this is all open. My left ear is all open area. It's all the living room. So I'm coming and say, hey, whispering, hey. Right? And I'm just ignoring it. So he said, hey. And I'm ignoring it.
It got louder?
No, it's about the same. But it was like a hey.
Okay.
But like loud enough for just me to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm ignoring it. And the third time happens. And at this time I'm thinking, man, it's Arnold. Right?
That's
This
me.
asshole, excuse my language, this asshole's messing with me. He's trying to freak me out because they just got done telling me all this craziness that happened here, and some shadow man and whatever, and I was just like, ah. And then he said, hey, and then I glanced over and there's nothing. So I say, all right, whatever. And he says, and I hear, hey again. So I get up. I'm walking, I get up in the living room. I'm looking around the living room. Why is he not here? I go, oh, dude, he's hiding behind the little pony wall that goes into the kitchen. So I pick the pillow and I'm going to hit him. So I go back there and I check and there's nothing. I go, well, there's no way he's under the table. He's a big guy, there's no way he's going to go under
Without
there.
making noise.
Yeah, without making all kinds of noise, all the chairs, So I go, what the hell? Whatever. So then I lay down, and I remember it getting cold in there, and him saying, hey, again, but this time I'm actually paying attention. I'm actually awake now, but my eyes are closed, and he just comes, and it sounded like an elderly man. Mind you, they did not tell me anything about anybody except for some shadow guy. That's all I
Right.
know. That's all I
Right,
know.
right.
I don't know anything else. And that the garage was off limits for whatever reason. They never tell me why. All right, so then it sounds like an elderly man. He goes, who are you? And I'm playing along because at this point I'm kind of like, well, who is this? Because there's nobody here. And I tell him who I am. Say my name is Raul, Arnold's cousin. But I'm curious. He goes, oh, okay. hey. And then I go, and I'm like kind of giving him I'm silent, kind of telling him like what? Like, go ahead. And I don't know why he felt like he didn't want to do me any harm. He kind of felt like hey, like I'm gonna give you some advice because you seem like a good kid. And he told me this is a bit embarrassing, but he was just like, hey, you need to lose some weight, right?
That was Grandpa Louie, by the way.
Right, and I was just like, okay, thanks. And mind you, I mean, I have lost a lot of weight since, right?
Yeah.
So, oh no, but it gets better. I don't think I've told you. I know I told your mom. I told your mom this. So that same morning, a couple hours later, sun's up. Everybody's still out, and I'm hearing this little like a kid's toy, kind of like maybe like maybe not a Jack in the Box, but like that kind of era of toys where they would make noise, whatever, and it's kind of faint, and I'm going, why the hell are the kids outside playing, So I don't think anything of it. It's playing. And I'm thinking about it. I'm going, it's not from outside. It's from somewhere inside the house. So I get up, and I can still hear it. And first thing I'm thinking is that coming from the refrigerator? Because you remember, your refrigerator was
Right by the garage door.
right next to the garage door.
Right.
Yeah.
So I walk over to the fridge, and I kind of put my ear kind of close to the fridge. I'm like, no, it's coming from the garage. I never told you this, huh?
Oh, hell no.
So and I get really close to the garage door, and I'm like, it's coming from the garage, right? I'm just like, why the hell would they have a toy?
You didn't open the door, though, did you?
Oh yeah, I did.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I did. So, and I remember you guys telling me that's basically a no-go zone.
Exactly.
Like
for
whatever
that reason.
For whatever you do in this house, don't go in the garage.
Yeah.
And I was just like, like what the hell is that?
Mm-hmm.
So I opened it up, and the moment I opened up that door, silent. Nothing. Complete silence.
Yeah, because you let it in.
Right? Complete
Just kidding.
no, complete silence.
I'm like,
Right?
Sorry.
And I'm standing in front of the door, and yeah, I'm getting a weird vibe, but
yeah.
I'm just like, it's dark as hell in there. I'm just like,
Wouldn't help that the garage was littered with stuff.
Yeah.
Because nobody wanted to go inside and clean it because everybody was afraid of it. Because
Yeah.
even during the day, it was dark.
so I close
So-
the door,
That's why.
and I go lay back down. And then almost immediately, the moment I lay down, the little music starts up again. Right? And I'm going, you gotta be kidding me. This is crazy. I'm just like, this is the most insane thing ever. So I get up, I walk really, and I'm in socks, so I'm not making stomping noises, and I'm being very careful. This is when you guys saw that carpet. So I'm walking over carefully. I'm up against the door, but now I'm kind of contemplating: should I open it?
No.
No.
Right? And I was just like, you know what? I
You opened it.
said, fuck it, I'm going in. I said, fuck it, I'm opening it.
Oh, my God.
Right? The moment I opened it, silent.
They're messing with
Nothing.
you. Oh.
Nothing, right? And
Why didn't you wake any of us up?
because you guys were all hung over, probably.
Not me.
No, Anna's the good one. So I was just like, no.
I'm glad you never told me the story.
I know I didn't tell you this. I walked in.
Into the garage?
Yeah. I
Oh,
literally
you
walked
are
in.
brave.
I walked in. I had to have gone like maybe 10 feet in or so.
That's still
Like all the
that's a
way
long
in.
way.
And I looked around the garage. Right? I mean, the garage was hot. Like it was hot in there. It wasn't even hot outside, but their garage was
Hot.
grotesquely hot in
Well,
there.
yeah, because it doesn't have windows. It didn't have anything.
I know,
No
but
ventilation.
this was grotesque, dude. It felt like 120 degrees in there.
Oh, my
I felt
God.
I felt like an oven.
Do
I
you
thought that was
remember?
weird.
And then it had all that stuff littered and everything.
Well,
Yeah.
wait a
And so what
minute.
happened? You just
Before
left after that?
Yeah, and I walked out, but I remember just it felt weird.
Before I
Right.
forget, for my listeners, so for those of you who don't know, we did have, I think I said this in the last podcast, we had a film crew come out from Mundo Fox.
Yeah, we did it. We mentioned it.
We did. So if you want to see what used to happen in the garage, take a look at that show,
So
and you'll see.
we
what
couldn't
happened.
put the link up. I'm glad you mentioned
So-
it. We couldn't put the link up, but if you Google From Beyond Episode 1 Shadow Man, you'll see my mom's face and you'll be able to pull it up and watch it. It's still available to view.
Yeah, and check
Yeah.
out what used to happen in the garage. Since then, we have, well, thanks to Arnold and the cousins who came over during the day, chickens, during the day.
We don't work during the night. Come on.
Yeah, seriously.
Opened the garage door because we couldn't get the big door open. It was like jammed. Arnold and his cousins, Raleigh and a bunch of other cousins
They
came in.
cleaned it out.
Cleaned it all out, built a nice shelving, so now it's nice and spotless.
Brand new door with
Brand new
windows.
door with windows. Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Brand new
you.
side door.
Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
we're
to
going to go ahead and
your-
promote your
So
company.
it's not creepy anymore.
Paid programming.
Yeah, so it's no
No,
longer.
but there was a lot of stuff in there.
Well,
Old
yeah.
stuff.
Didn't your
Well,
mom
it's
have like
'cause-
20 cats?
No, it's because Grandpa he had a lot of tools.
Yeah.
It was like his little mechanic shop, like a hobby of his, right?
Yeah.
Fixing, selling cars.
Yeah, he used to.
And so he had a lot of tools, a lot of stuff that had just left behind. And then he got older and I guess kind of stopped doing
rusty
it.
and they get all
So
beat
all
up.
that stuff was just in there. And then all the kids moving out, all their stuff was just put in there. Like
Right.
as they moved out, they put it in the garage.
Right.
And it's just
people-
stockpiling in
Yeah,
there.
people came
Right.
to the house.
And then because
Moved
of the
out,
noises that
moved
would
it
would
in,
come
and-
from the garage,
And there was
nobody
a lot
wanted
of
to.
stuff. Everybody's
in.
stuff was in the garage. We
Yeah.
got rid of tons and tons of it.
Yeah.
But now it's immaculate and it's not as scary.
It's not creepy anymore.
It's not at all.
You know
thank
what?
God.
Remember when
Maybe we can have a
We went back-
podcast in there.
Yeah, we can, now we
No.
now we
I'm
can.
still not comfortable
Oh no,
to do that.
I'm good. I'm good with that.
You know what?
I'm the one that feels
I will
the
sit.
most.
I
You
will
know.
sit out on that.
No,
one.
no, you're fine. You'll be fine.
Oh,
You know what, Crystal? Because remember I went back like after that show and after you guys did whatever you guys had to do to the garage and the rest of the house, we put cameras in for Grandpa.
Right.
So I had to do a bunch of stuff inside the garage. It felt day and night different being in there.
It is, huh?
Yeah,
Big time.
even though I had the door closed a couple times on me because the door just closes.
Right. But
You
it's
know,
peaceful now.
But it didn't feel. You didn't get that creepy vibe,
Yeah, see,
like
I
just
told
you didn't get that feeling like just like ugh.
Yeah, it's not as bad as anymore.
right.
Like
Well-
I went in there and I just did my thing. and I
Yeah,
was
you
like,
could
oh,
try going in there at nighttime by yourself in the house
I have.
alone.
I
You're
have.
brave. I'm not.
No, I have. Well, I can now.
I wouldn't go in there by myself.
No, I can.
I don't even like going to the restroom in the hallway by myself.
I know.
Remember when the priest came out to bless my dad because of that
Yes.
whole incident? He blessed the home.
Oh, he did?
He
Yeah.
did. He blessed the home and the garage, the
Father John
backyard,
came
front
in.
yard, the whole.
Well, that's
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we're good.
I forgot about that.
Oh,
he did.
and
he came in
we
after
keep
that.
talking about the Shadow Man. How about we talk about what that is and who that is in the next episode?
That sounds like a
We
good
can bring that up
idea.
next week.
Yeah, just make a
next
note
episode.
because we keep talking about him or it or
Secretary Krystal.
so we can remember the viewers so we can remind them to
Right.
tune in for the Shadow Man, and who knows, maybe some other stories will come up by then.
Oh yeah, there's
Not
a-
stories,
there's a
actually,
bunch.
experiences.
There's a
Yeah,
lot.
you know what? We'll see if I can get my buddy to come on. He's got his own.
I'll see if my
Shadow Man
sisters are not
stories.
scared enough. See if they'll.
Oh, next
If they're
episode,
brave
we're
to
actually
come on.
going to do it. Your sister.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
She's going
Good.
to come on and tell her
Awesome.
story. You guys can talk about what happened to you guys as kids. You guys have some creepy stories.
Oh yeah. From the minute we moved into that house in 1976, that's when it started. Approximately about a month later.
So yeah,
When
we'll
we
have
moved
her
in.
on
Yeah.
sharing that stuff with you, and then we'll talk about Shadow Man. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we can call it, and I can go check my camera, see if it's recording.
It's all turned off.
Dun, dun, dun.
I hope it's recording.
I hope so, too, because this
This
is
is a
I
really
will
good
try.
really,
episode.
really
if it
good
didn't.
episode. All right. You want to close it off, Anna? Or?
Yeah.
Yes. Same with the prayer. Lord God Almighty Most High, thank you for always protecting us, guiding, and directing us. We will act, and we will reason, but guide thou, Lord, our actions, our willing, and our reasoning to the right thing that we should do in absolutely everything that we do. Thank you for blessing us with your love and your light. Amen.
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 Wow.